right, morning. About to start 2 information sessions here. These are powerful visits. A lot of questions, a lot of inquiries. They go fast and it's freaking powerful. But I wanted to hit, how much time do I got? About 10 minutes. I wanted to hit a follow-up video to the post I just posted about managing symptoms of injury or managing symptoms of any kind. You can apply anywhere into all levels of medicine. But if you're going deeper medicine, go to Cassie's page, Dr. Cassie Huckabee's page. She'll cover this as well. But the rules stay the same. Every time you manage symptoms or relieve symptoms in any way during injuries, acute or chronic, and symptoms can be tight musculature, pain and fear around, fear and apprehension around movements, being uncertain in your movements, general weakness, contortions, antalgia, body limping, swelling, inflammation, pain, scar tissue, adhesions, fascia, blah, 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 spine distortions, bone spurs, herniation, like whatever the transition is, it usually starts with just basic pain, inflammation, swelling. And then if you don't heat it or change something so that the body can get into a position to heal itself so it no longer needs to get your attention, it just takes those 3 symptoms and then changes them into another level of healing responses and symptoms. We call them another injury. Or in medicine, they'll call them another disease. It's not another disease. It's just an unlistened to, ignored healing response. But what I've noticed in coming up on 22 years of practice, every time you choose a relieving type of scenario, body work, massage, chiropractic, acupuncture, physical therapy, occupational therapy, lasers, Graston, ART, MAT, ultrasound, cold therapy, whatever it is to relieve symptoms of injury, acute or chronic, every single time there would be one of those events, it would set the person back like a full 3 full inputs, which for me in now where we're at and just the way we're functioning, the level that we're at now of de-evolution, it's a good 3 days. So if you think about this, I just go to my body worker just for tight hips. I just have tight, but it feels good. Can't I do what feels good? I just like to do the stuff that feels good. Why can't I? That's fine. As I said, if that works for you, then you're not combing pages looking for more information. You're just going and living because it's working. But if it's not working, you're going to have to change. But every time that person goes in and tricks the body out with a hack gadget treatment, or outside in approach, an oil, a supplement of some kind or something like that, you leave, my God, I feel so much better. You just set yourself back a good 3 days to get back to where the body now has to catch up, assess the inputs that just were exposed to, you were just exposed to. It's going to go, wait a second, I was splinting your low back to get your attention for you to change a shitload about your life, especially how you train and how you move. You didn't. You just outsourced to a body worker. Wait. And then all of a sudden it'll come back or it'll be stronger. And to undo that, you got to do a good 3 days of seriously intentional training inputs to the level of what I'm talking about when I say true training. In addition to all the other things that you're going to be working on in your essentials of life. Sometimes though, it'll be this. I went in for an elbow and oh my God, it worked for my elbow, but now my shoulder, or now it's my hip, or now it's my foot, or now I have this pesky. And again, that's why there's no protocols. There's no elbow or shoulder protocol. It's a body protocol. So when an injury occurs, it's because you aren't adapting to what life is presenting to you. Body's trying to get your attention and let you know this, that you have to change and you have to level up if you expect to experience life at the level that you're talking about. Now you can modify your life and dumb it down a little bit and wear the shoes, wear the braces, make it nerf, no longer participate in those activities, stay out of the relationship changes, just don't even fight for your values or beliefs, don't even make these changes, don't go for the job that's risky, don't change location, don't do any of this stuff, just keep it nice and easy, and that might work. But if you're looking to live life to the level that we deserve or the body is designed to handle, then you're going to have to exceed what life is going to ask of you. And sometimes the body will go ahead and move things around. It's not a new injury. It's not a fret. It's just literally another way of getting your attention. It tried through the back or it tried through the elbow. You didn't listen. That wasn't strong enough. That wasn't deep enough. That wasn't enough to get you scared enough. You just kept going to all these other people. You kept trying these other things. And that's fine too. The experience in those offices will get you to see that those offices don't need to be here. None of them. No offices, no treatments, no professions, no license, no certifications. There is no holistic, there is no body worker, there is no anybody that you need to manage or treat your symptoms. The healing is going to come from you. And it's like, well, what do? I guide people on the concepts of why injuries occur, what training principles are, where to input, how to input, why to input, and then they will go ahead and create their own list. But the whole thing is covering concepts. I'm not touching people to get them to relieve their pain. Although when I did have an office, people were expecting that. They come in and be like, so you're not going to do anything? Like, after 2.5 hours of pointing leaks in their system, pointing out these things of clear, this is why force is going into, and we haven't even gotten into the other essentials of life yet. But it was another world then, and it's still another world now. Meaning we are changing for the worse, and that's fine. But those of you who are not accepting that are going to have to do a little more to exist in the level of the way the world and the level where that we're headed. You're going to have to make these changes. That's why I raised the standard of hanging from 60 seconds to 90 seconds. Because if you're going to exist in the world today, there's a lot of crabs pulling everybody down in the bucket, especially the health freedom crowd, the holistic crowd, the practitioners. I've never seen anything like it. So you're going to have to change your standards. But when it comes to injuries, every single time you choose a pain relieving, managing, symptom relieving, symptom reducing treatment of some kind, surgery is the king dick of them all. If you go ahead and have a surgery and replace a joint or have a disc herniation surgery or have this, that's fine. You might have been in some real precarious, like real crazy scenario where that's what you wanted to do. You opted for it. Great, own it. But now, son of a bitch, you just totally eliminated the healing responses in one fell swoop. Gone. Now the body's like, whoa. You also traumatized it from a standpoint of you anesthetized it, you cut it, you put in hardware. So those people, surgery, and I've had multiple surgeries, we have to work harder than everybody because we've got a whole lot more of almost purposely induced injuries that we got to offset. And I'll say even for surgery people, you got to rehab and train and change your essentials and go to these inputs 4 times more than anybody else who wouldn't have chosen the surgery. It's not that you're a bad person. You didn't fuck up. We own where we are right now. That's why everybody's exposed to traumas and all this bullshit. They're not to be talked about. They're not to be focused on. We're here right now. If we're not dead, we're here. It didn't take us. So this is the current state that we're in right now. Now, for those of you who are going to be inquiring, or might even be professions where it's like, well, I do the body work or the treatment or the gadget or the hack before so we can do the treatment training, like you say, TJ, like so we can train. Wait a second. If you just tricked out that person's state of being, which was true, which was perfect, but it was swollen, they were limping or they couldn't get out of bed, perfect. Body is always perfect, never lies, never fucks up. We tricked it out. Now you're doing a level of movement input, if you're just saying training, that they aren't supposed to be able to get to for another 3 months, 9 months, 3 years, 2 days. I don't know what their path is. I couldn't possibly. I only know me. So that's the problem, is we go, oh, well, we can combine the best of both worlds. And those are those both sides fence sitters, and it never works that way. Those are the ones that are like, well, we can do oncology and this, but we can do supplements to create this. No, you can't do both. You pick one and you go. And it either works or it doesn't work. True healing always works because it's just all the body knows. So again, for those of you who are like, I do the body work so then I can go ahead and do the training moves that you gave me or that I'm exposed to in your book or that I've created on my own, more importantly, and magnificently, people doing it on their own. Big problem, because you just threw the baby down the hallway and are yelling at it to run. And the baby didn't go through months and months of crawling and teetering and rolling over and standing and oscillating and then marching and then being able to walk. And that's the same thing that goes when an adult becomes injured. So there is no blending both worlds for those of you who are like, well, we manage the symptoms first. So I like to manage the symptoms so then I can move better. You figure out training. That's why I say true training needs to be able to happen in a bed, needs to be able to happen in a wheelchair, needs to be able to happen able to be exposed to for you in a cast or a sling or whatever you choose to do. Any place, anytime, any state of being, training is being able to be implemented. And that's not the only one. It is just the essential of essentials so that you can go work on all the other things that you're going to have to change with every injury that comes to you. And that's why, again, with a lot of these info sessions, they're not around like what kind of training. It doesn't make any sense. It's like what's going on in your life that right before the body expressed that, and then you end up finding all these things that have to be worked on, but the training allows you to work on that shit, assuming you want to. If you don't want to, that's cool. Training still gets you to and from the bathroom, to and from the kitchen, to and from the car, being able to pick up groceries, make groceries, open cans, all these things, sit up and down off the toilet, in addition to surviving death in the family, falling in love, lightning strike, whatever the fuck you want to do. So there's a deeper dive on symptoms, managing symptoms. Every time you choose a treatment that makes you feel better, you set yourself back a good 3 days from what I'm seeing now. And there is no blend between the two. Well, let's do a pain management and then do true inputs in how medicine should be instituted in regards to training and movement. And then understanding that when we go in and it's like, but it worked for my back. The back body was trying to get your attention through your back for various reasons. You blinded it, you cloaked it, you muted it, you taped its mouth, you fucking gagged the shit out of it, and it needed to find another way. And it found another way through another joint or another area of the body or another expression of symptoms, because again, all symptoms are healing. If we reduce or manage symptoms in any way, you just gotten in the way and perverted the healing response, period. It's how it works, always how it works. Again, don't believe me? Body's not gonna lie. I don't need to prove it. It's just, how you doing? Well, my body's doing this. Perfect. Doesn't lie. And again, if we're like, but I like this, or they're nice, or it seems to work for me, that's great. Again, body won't lie. I didn't invent this shit. If I invented it, it would bust up. It would mess up. It would be a mess. Your body will not lie, and you can't deny it. Some are, like ignoring it and not looking at that, or not paying attention to it, or tricking it out as much as you can so you don't have to go into the work. And that's fine. I understand that. But your body's not going to lie regardless. So the things we like to do, but it's fun. It feels good. I like this. They're nice. But I'm a practitioner. But I did all the school. But I'm 13 quarters in. Blah, blah, blah. Body's not going to lie. All right. Back to info sessions. Boom.